You are. It's so nice to have you back. You've been gone for so long.
I know, right?
It's been forever.
Hello, I'm back.
Don't
in
leave
San
me
Diego.
again.
Well,
No. I don't
so
want to hear
sorry.
it. I don't want to hear it.
But this bitch is going to Iowa.
I'm not jealous.
Oh, no. I know. Nothing over there but steers and queers.
Ow!
Can we still say that?
Yes, we
Can
can.
we still quote that movie?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. So I'm excited about both. It should be fun, though. I love small town crowds. Like the crowds that don't get UFCs often. I love going to shows like that.
They're starved for violence.
They're insane. They're
Yes.
falling off the rafters, throwing beer at each other.
Yes. It's like their night out, their only acceptable night to like get super drunk and their wife not be mad at them.
Yeah, and everyone's testosterone is going because you're watching fights. So it's even more of a fun and crazy night out.
Oh yeah, they all think they're fighters.
Yeah, you get up a hall pass to really cause some ruckus. I feel like the cops prepare themselves for a nice big drunk tank that night. They're like, all right, no one's gonna do serious time as long as they keep it under control.
No, just keep them confined.
Yeah,
It's funny. It reminds me of this Instagram post I saw. I just brought up. It says, men on average overestimate their ability to fight by 400%.
dude. Ain't that the truth?
It is. It is. I don't normally believe the things I see on Instagram, but this one, I'm not even going to fact check. It's accurate.
You have experience with it. I feel like we're gonna get destroyed in the comments for
Do
saying
it.
But I've beat up men before, believe it or not. And they were trying.
It wasn't you. It was Angela Trill.
They were trying to win. I'm telling you, every female fighter, if you talk to a male fighter that started training and got serious with it, they will admit that there was a point, that there was a girl in the gym that was good, that beat their ass, and they were like, oh, I guess this really does work. Let me get better so this never happens again. You know, like...
I love it. I love it when the confident noobs come in because they don't know any better. So they're like overconfident. Again, 400%. And they look at you and they're like, really? You want me to go with her? And the coaches are always like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And we're all going to sit and watch what happens.
Ask any coach. They all know that, like,
They set you up.
That's the easy green light. They're not going to green light you with the big guy at the gym because that would just be a lawsuit.
Yes.
But if you get beat up,
technically they signed a waiver.
They did sign a waiver, but if you set them up with a girl, they're not even going to tell anybody about it. They're not going to admit to the abuse that they had to endure.
All of these like early training scenarios are going through my head. Lots of memories. That's a fun trip down memory lane right there.
Yeah. I don't mess around with that anymore, but definitely when I was more green, but like also could fight well enough to beat up a guy. It was a fun little, it was like a party trick.
It was, yeah. Always happy to volunteer for it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but now I know. You never know again. It's like a street fight. You never know what a guy is going to do when they're fighting for their life not to be embarrassed by getting beat up by a girl. So
This is true.
crazy shit can happen. You know, things can get broken, injuries. You want to stay away from that situation. Yes. But I'm just saying it's possible. Believe it or not.
Share your stories in the comments.
Yes. Oops, sorry. I'm so unprofessional.
It's okay. You have been on a trip. You don't know if you're still in airplane mode or not.
I know. Speaking of beating up people, I got to go to the Boston Open. IBJJF, not the marathon. What's the marathon called?
Boston Marathon.
It's the Boston Marathon. Somebody thought I was doing a marathon when I told them I was doing the Boston Open.
In a gi?
I was like, what? Is it the same name? Yeah, our team Alliance Jiu-Jitsu went out to Boston's Alliance and competed for them so they can collect all the medals and everything, and we did pretty good. We cleaned up.
I was gonna say I saw a lot of gold. I saw a lot of double gold.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of this.
I got double gold and gi, and then silver and no gi. But I got gold in open class.
Hey.
Because no one signed up.
Fuck yeah. Hey, it counts. It counts. Don't do that to yourself. It counts. I've seen people with like things in their freaking Instagram bio that says 2-time something world gold medalist champion, and it's because nobody showed up.
Dude, my eyes are being opened right now. I feel like I was
that shit is padded.
It's so crazy.
Oh, yeah.
How padded a lot of like you can have your jiu-jitsu career. It's insane. Like, there's no video of any of the matches. Usually they stream it, but there were like 3 things going on this weekend, like 3 bigger ones that were all IBJJF, so they didn't stream it anywhere.
Yeah.
So who's to say I didn't beat up Gabby
double gold,
Garcia?
baby.
Gabby Garcia in the open class. I know she's black belt, but she went down to brown for me.
They do super fights now.
Yeah, but no, it was fun. It was fun to get out there and get a little crazy. I had a really, even though I lost the match, I had a really cool moment where they were like, "You're down by points, you gotta submit," and I like rolled over the girl's like guard, grabbed her head, tried to go for that guillotine. She like sat up, and then I like lifted her up by the neck.
Oh God.
It was really great.
Hope
but
she
there's
signed
no
the waiver.
video.
Somebody had to have in the stands.
Someone had to see it, but yeah, I was lifting her up and trying to get that like guillotine you always see up against the cage, but I feel like I needed a cage to really sink in it.
Yeah.
But it was fun lifting someone up by the neck.
It's okay. That was very descriptive, so I can picture it now.
It was so fun.
Got it right up here.
Hopefully we'll get a little clip one day and I can share it with you guys.
Send it.
Yeah, but you were doing some crazy stuff too, right? Sorry, guys, we're talking about our lives. I don't know how much you guys like that, but
They love it.
deal with it. I'll put a time signature down so you can skip to the fight breakdown. But yeah, you did some crazy shit last week too.
Oh yeah, last week. I haven't posted about it because I haven't gotten all the footage, and
okay.
I want to make a nice little post since I don't post very often at all.
Make it good, or else it's gonna get choked.
Exactly. I went skydiving with the Army Golden Knights.
That's insane.
And I agreed to this about over a year ago. I was probably intoxicated. I definitely was intoxicated. And I was reminded around Easter time, like, hey, just a reminder, this is coming up. And I was like, oh.
No.
Is it? Do I really want to do this?
Do I want to risk my life for fun?
I was like, I actually, so I do stupid things with my health and,
Well, yeah, you're a fighter.
Yeah. I like, am pretty frivolous with my health, putting myself in danger all the time, doing stupid things, but everything is like on the ground-ish,
yes. You could die, but it would be a lot slower than falling to your death.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there would be a chance of like an ambulance coming and like helping me. I just feel a little bit like safer. Even when I like dive, because I love diving.
Oh,
even then I feel like I have a little bit more control. You're not going to fall in the water. You may no, you're fine. You're fine.
You might get crushed by the pressure of
no,
the
you're
ocean
fine.
on top of you when your equipment malfunctions. But
I'll take the bends or, a possible interaction with a shark over plummeting to my death and, not being able to do anything about it.
I love that you call it an interaction. You're such an animal person. An interaction with a shark.
You're just going up to say hi. You're just going up to say hi.
A little date with the shark. Oh, he got a little bitey, but
It's fine. They're like puppies.
That's what sharks do.
Exactly. You can't be mad at them. Animals are going to do what animals do. But yeah, so I got to go diving. It was probably one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I'm not even kidding you. I was so scared. Like, when you're backstage before a fight or you're competing, you get like kind of pent up and you get nervous, but like how to move your energy. Mm-hmm. You can like talk about it, you can shadow box, you can hit something, like everything's fine. But like that was not the case because you're like strapped in this plane and the door's open, mind you.
Oh God.
And I'm like the closest person to the door because I've said that I need to go first because I cannot handle watching anybody go before me. I just have to go. I'm like, I can't sit here for any longer. So we
I
strap
can imagine
in.
hearing the scream too when they jump out the.
You know what?
Blood curdling.
There was a little scream. Not as much as I thought I would. Normally, like when I'm on a roller coaster, I love roller coasters. I'm a screamer.
Okay.
Just like, just like let it out. And it's like so much fun. But I wasn't much of a screamer. I was just trying to breathe and try not to freak out.
Yeah.
But it was like the coolest thing and the scariest thing was when you like go out the door, because I had no control. Like my tandem, jumper guy, the one who had my life in his hands.
Yeah.
He's like 6'2", 215.
Okay.
So I was like, if he wants to go, we're going.
Yeah.
I have no like.
You're basically the baby in The Hangover. You know? It's just like, all right.
I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
And he said we were going to go on 3, and he went on like 2.
What a dick.
I know.
I would have been flicking his nose on the way down. Fucking asshole.
Oh my God. But it was so cool. It was like,
Yeah.
It was so cool. I wanted to go again. I was exhausted though. I would have been that baby just taking a nap.
Yeah, well, you pretty much put yourself in a death situation. Any
Yeah.
other time that happens, you're dead right after. So
Yeah.
I can imagine like all your functions just stop functioning.
Yes.
You malfunction. And then you have to reboot once you realize you didn't die.
It took a few days.
God damn. I would never. I was all about it like when I was younger, but now I'm like, I made it too far. I don't want to do something like that for fun and then just, parachute doesn't work. All right, well, had a good run. Like, damn, I signed up for this. This wasn't an accident. I made this happen. Like that part of me, the what do you call it? Just the survival instincts makes me not want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I would do it again now, but I would do it with them because I feel like that's the most
you're white. It's a fucking white thing to do.
Fucking white people.
White people are crazy. But
a little bit.
Hey, I can't knock you for doing it. I think it's really cool and brave that you did that. And
I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. And I didn't, I mean, I would get like little surges of like, adrenaline. I'd be like, oh shit, I'm going to do this. But I was scared.
Yeah.
I was fucking scared.
You should be.
And I fight people in a cage.
You can't fight gravity.
No.
That shit wins
try.
every time.
You can try.
Every time it wins.
I'm like, I get on unbroke horses and just like hope that it's going to be okay. Yeah. I dive underwater and hope I don't die. Like it was really scary.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. I did that photo shoot up on that. It was called I forget the name of it.
Oh, in Chicago?
In New York. And it's a new building, which is also why, like, it didn't exist when I moved from New York.
Oh.
So they're like, do this thing. It's like a tourist attraction. And we want to do a photo shoot with the Venom gear. And they had the glass bottom floor area at the top of, like, this, I don't even know how many stories. I feel like it was like 100 stories.
Too many.
Building. And you're looking down and I see a taxi cab and it's like this tiny. And I'm just like, fuck. And my whole body was trembling. Like I couldn't do it. And Adam's like terrified of heights. But because he knew I had to get the shot, he stepped out on the thing.
What a guy.
Like 2 of them. So he wasn't like in the way, but he was also there. So at least if I died, he would die with me.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's a man right
Such
there.
a gentleman.
That's a man. You want him to go down with you. Yeah, you're not going to go live a good life.
Oh, hell no.
Get a new girl.
Nope.
Fuck someone that can't fight. No, you're stuck with me for life. So yeah, I thought that was cool. But that, like, I didn't realize how afraid I was of heights now until I did that, because I love roller coasters and rides and stuff. But when you're strapped in, it feels a little different. Mm-hmm. But like for that, it literally looked like you were just stepping onto air.
Yeah.
It's just fucking freaky. And I've never been on a nice one too. Like they were all kind of cloudy. So you're like, it's a floor, but this one was clear. Ooh. It was like freshly like peeled plaster.
Oh God, no! Dirty that thing up.
Yeah, scuff it up real quick. Yeah, so I commend you, because after that experience, I was like, I couldn't do bungee jumping. I couldn't do skydiving. Like, all that shit is like past my threshold now. I'm over it.
Yeah, it almost was for me.
Yeah, well, good job. You did it, and she's going to do it again because she's crazy.
Yes, we got invited back.
Well, you know what we might get to see again is, what's his name? Ian Gary fight in the main event. He just set himself up for a lifetime fucking achievement. He won his fight against Carlos Prats on short notice, and then he put in the stipulations that if he won, he gets to be back up for this for the was it Bilal versus Jack Della fight.
Yes. I think he showed such amazing fight IQ in this fight. Like, he nullified all of Prattis' tools. You know, by throwing that like really big right head kick constantly, just really shut Prattis down, and he wasn't able to adjust until, I mean, honestly, the last round.
Yeah, he was stuck, and every time he tried to open up, Ian Gary would go for a takedown. Like, he just planned it out perfectly to the point where he was high-fiving strategically. He stole that from John Silva's book. Like, he was just disrupting the rhythm. So a lot of times when Prats defends a takedown, he comes back with something. You know, he defends. You know that the person's a little tired because he has really good takedown defense. So you try to get that takedown. You gas your arms out a bit. Then you come up and he's able to hit you. As soon as Gary would come up, he would smile and high five him. I'm like, that's strategic. He's doing that on purpose. So it was there were a lot of little moments there that I feel like Gary planned out really well, where Prats was just trying to hit him. Yeah. Like, he was just trying to fight. And I think obviously there was a game plan for it, but I think someone like Carlos Prats needs a camp to prepare for someone like Gary, whereas Gary has the experience that he can do it on the fly. Yeah. And granted, Prats was preparing for Jeff Neal, but that's a totally different
It's a totally different puzzle. Exactly.
And he's going to come at him a lot harder. He's a power hitter. You're going to be force versus force. And with Gary, it's just like kind of like, bam, and then get out of there.
No, I loved how he used his right-sided tools. He used the right hand, he used the right high kick, and everything also was his takedowns were behind those right tools as well. So everything just looked kind of similar. It's like Prattis' beautiful left kick. You know, it all looks like it's coming from the same place, so you don't know if it's going to be high, middle, or low.
Yeah, I liked how he was setting up the takedown. He was going for like that head outside single, so it didn't really look like he cared if he got it or not, but it was disrupting everything. Like, anytime he threw big, he got underneath him, and then he was able to get that double leg eventually. So it was a really good strategy until it didn't work anymore, and I feel like Prattis is just kicking himself for not getting going sooner.
Man, I was wondering. I mean, again, the beautiful offense of Machado Gary definitely gave a lot of problems, but I wonder if he could have gotten going just a little bit sooner, because we saw him put Machado Gary on the floor. He has the ability to knock him out. He had that ability, and he just he got too deep in the hole with it.
Yeah, well, I feel like that whole sequence happened off of the defended shot. Like, he shot and he was able to reverse it and land on top, and then he was able to really like capitalize on that damage he did on the feet. Where, like, there was even a moment in the third round where Prattis like landed like a nice 3-2, but because Gary's good at evading, good at backing out, controlling the distance, he couldn't follow up. So a lot of times he was having a lot of trouble just finishing what he started. Like, he'd land something good, and then Gary would skiff out of the way. He would pot shot him, like pop, 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 pick him apart, and then run away. And as a Muay Thai fighter who has dealt with that problem before, it's so frustrating because it almost feels like you don't have the tools to find this person. When someone has good lateral movement and you're more of a Muay Thai fighter who moves back and forth, if you watch his fights, anytime he starts getting hit, he's going straight back. Anytime he's attacking, he's going straight forward. And the funny thing is, Pradas looks pretty human in his fights until he knocks them out. Like
he always has a chance.
Even in the Magny fight, it was back and forth. Magny was doing good work in the clinch, and then all of a sudden, bam, he hurt him so hard, and it comes out of nowhere. So the entire time, everyone's waiting for this moment. And of course, you're losing hope that it's going to happen because you've never seen him in a second, third, fourth round. But it happened in the fifth. I feel like that means that Pradas' ceiling is still really high. The fact that he was able to pull off that like crazy, just like power, almost upset thing right at the last moment, right where both guys are the most tired, but he shouldn't have been able to do that according to what we've seen in the past. Like it shows that he definitely has room to improve and he can have that power all 5 rounds.
And we still have to remember as well, like going off of what you're saying, that Pradas is still like fairly new to MMA. Yeah. Like in the grand scheme of things. He has good fight IQ for striking, but we saw something that we hadn't seen before. We saw his takedown defense. We saw his ability to get up. We saw his ability to turn off the cage, just more amplified than we have previously.
Yeah, and he said that he's a Brazilian black belt too. So you wonder if he's gonna start mixing it up. Like I actually got to talk to him before his fight on my radio show, Sirius XM, Fight Nation, and he was saying that he's willing to take the fight wherever it goes, but he just leans towards the striking.
Of course, but why wouldn't you?
But he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he obviously has wrestling. He has extremely good counter wrestling. So I wonder if that might be the plan moving forward, because it's worked really well for Ian Gary. And imagine like the feints that Pradas has, the ability to get people shook after he lands a little power. Imagine what a takedown would do to that. Imagine how many powerful left kicks, how many powerful crosses he can set up with a little dip shot.
Yeah, I think this fight, I don't think it exposed Pradas in a negative way. I think it showed him, obviously what there is to work on and the new tools that he can add to his tool belt. And I think the next time he's out there that we'll see, maybe even a different approach.
Yeah. So just to back up what you're saying, he started his MMA career in 2012, but to fight at the high level that he has, he just got into the UFC in 2023, and there's a big difference. Like he talks about the people that he fought before he got into the UFC and how good they are, but once you get to that top 5 level, which is, I think he's the first one, right, out of the fight nerds to get to that top 5 level competitor, then there's a different game. Like everything matters. You can't take as many risks, or if you do, they have to be very calculated. And I think him and his team are gonna learn a lot about how to navigate these higher level fights where you have people who are just levels ahead of everyone else you fought. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one, and I think it was pretty savvy of Gary to slide in that stipulation in his contract of getting the backup fight. What do you think about that? You think he's gonna be able to slide in there?
I don't know if that'll actually happen, but it puts him, it was definitely a smart move by him or by his management to put that stipulation in there, because now he's definitely part of the conversation. And with the win over Pradas in this fashion on short notice, it just ups the ante for him. It makes him look even better.
Yeah. So we did get a fan question from Living HZ. He had a lot of stuff to ask, but one thing he asked was, what is your reaction to Buckley and Ian Gary beef, as well as the ceremonial weigh-in video explained by Buckley?
The cuck Cuckanese.
The cuckanese, yes. So the cuckanese was part of it. I haven't seen all the videos of all the beef, but I did see the ceremonial weigh-in where he tried to slide in and say something, and the wife was in the way, and the baby was in the way, and then after she handed the baby to Ian, she turned around and just slightly caressed his arm, probably like, "Hey." Like, hey, I'm not afraid of you.
The thing is, so I think that the way Machado Gary, has this like showmanship about him, that's the same that Buckley has. So they're kind of paralleled personalities, like going for the same thing, like, just trying to make more talk, more conversation. And that's what you have to do. That's what sets you apart.
Mm-hmm. But the difference is Buckley wants to fight Ian Gary.
Well, yes.
Gary does not want to fight Buckley. He has not said a word about Buckley since he got snatched from that fight.
That would put a wrench in the works. And he's done a very good job of marketing himself, talking to himself, getting all of the eyes on him and backing up, what he's saying. He's winning fights.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he keeps talking about showing up for the Shavkat fight short notice, but people forget that he was preparing to fight Buckley.
Yeah, it wasn't...
you're in a camp, but he's writing the story that he wants people to say.
Yes.
Like, he's figuring out a way to market it so that he looks like the most valuable, contender that is not booked for a title fight. And Buckley's trying to do the same thing. So I think that's where the beef gets kind of funny. Ian Gary is getting the opportunities. Buckley is not. But he could be there very soon, especially after a win over Usman. Mm-hmm. So I like the way that Buckley's been keeping his name in people's mouths. The journalists are asking Ian about it. They're annoying him with it. He's creeping up on his wife. He's doing all, not in a super creepy way, but just in a joking way, in a comedic way. So I like what he's doing and how he's keeping his name in there so people don't forget.
No, he's doing the right things.
Yeah. So the co-main was pretty dramatic. We had Anthony Smith
versus Zhang
retiring.
Yes, we did.
And I thought Anthony might have had a chance against him. He Ming Yang Zhang has not shown me just how good he was until that fight.
See, on paper, it looked like potentially Anthony Smith could get the victory. But the thing is, if you look at his body of work and then you look at just the young, hungry, fast up-and-comer in Zhang, I thought that it might play out this way.
Yeah, and it did. And, another thing that's been going on with Smith is just he's always seemed very emotional when he gets in there, at least in his final fights. There's something going on. There was the last fight where he was crying in there because he lost somebody right before. This one he was flipping off a guy in the audience.
Well, that was after though.
It was after, but he also said that he heard it before the fight.
Yeah.
And said it didn't affect him, but at the same time, it's the first thing you do after you get knocked out.
It just seems like there's other things on his mind.
There's background noise.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing that he's retired because that's going to get you hurt even more so. You know what I mean? It definitely seems hard for him to block. And some people thrive in that situation. Some people are able to take their pain or the haters or whatever it is that's pushing through your corner's voices, and they're able to use that as aggression and get the win. But for Anthony, I feel like it's been shutting him down. It's been almost making him want to receive pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just if your mind is not completely on the task at hand, you're going to get hurt. And I think that that's what we've kind of repeatedly seen from him, is just almost Almost like his mind doesn't necessarily want to be in there.
Yeah. And how was that friggin' elbow? Like that was Anthony's
Which
head
one
is the worst type of head to get elbowed like that. Like,
yeah.
like if you have a little hair, even a little buzz cut, that's gonna stop your head from splitting open that bad. But when you have Anthony's head shape and head size, and it just landed so perfectly.
Yeah, there were some really sharp elbows thrown by Zhang. Those step in elbows just were brutal. And then when he, eventually got down to the ground, just repeatedly elbow, forcing Anthony to cover up, and then getting the TKO. It was just, it was brutal.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up. But the nice thing was, Zhang Mingyang, he did his little thing. He said, "Booby," which made me feel better about my "Isso uma menina" thing that I said in Brazil.
Okay. What were you trying to say?
I don't know why I said it, but it's just like one of the things that I've been saying in Duolingo.
I'm a little girl.
I am a girl.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was little girl.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "What?
You're like,
You old bitch? We saw you. We saw you telling the tape. You are not a menina. You are a mujer."
That's Spanish pronunciation.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You know what I meant.
It's okay. But I also appreciate how Zhang afterwards was coming to Anthony's aid and trying to calm him down.
That was cool.
While he was like going off, I was like, oh, like what a guy.
Yeah.
What a good guy. He was really trying to just like get him undistracted and unfocused on the negativity.
It was so strange.
Yeah.
It was so strange. But what might be considered strange to some other people was the beautiful package that they had for Anthony Smith for his retirement.
Uh-huh.
Some people are comparing that to Stipe's retirement.
A little bit.
And how there was nothing. I think
there are very short clips.
Not
pictures
on,
almost.
not on the night.
Pictures almost.
I don't think they had it on the night.
On the night?
On the night that Stipe retired.
They had it on the night Anthony retired.
No, that's what I'm saying. Anthony had like this nice, beautiful package.
Okay.
And then people are comparing it to Stipe's send-off and how it was.
Oh.
Do you remember it? So John Jones beat Stipe, and he had already said that if he doesn't win, he would retire. So you think that they'd have something prepared. Like, he's a pretty big underdog. We'll have something prepared if Stipe doesn't win. There was nothing prepared. And then, Joe Rogan's doing the interview, and he's like, "So what's next for you?" And Stipe goes, "I'm done. What else you got to do?" And he starts talking in the Stipe language that, like, I guess people in Cleveland can understand. But as he's saying it, he's taking his gloves off, or trying to take his gloves off. Eventually, he gives up because the tape won't come off of his glove, and he just walks out. Walks out with the tape a little torn on his gloves.
Well, not everybody gets a nice send-off.
But Stipe deserves it.
Yes, he does.
Stipe deserves it.
Of course he does.
I think eventually they did like a little video thing, like maybe the next fight night or something, like, honoring Stipe Miocic. But yeah, it still just kind of dropped the ball there. But one can argue that because Anthony is such a company man, he has been there, he has bailed the UFC out, he works the desk, they were extra ready for his retirement as opposed to Stipe's, who's been kind of like semi-retired for a long time, in and out, just kind of demanding things that he deserves, but not really cooperating. And maybe it was kind of a
Well, they also have Anthony on the desk, so that's
Spiteful,
a little bit more.
get out of here.
Yeah, it's a little bit more incentive to like give him a proper send off.
The production people didn't forget because he's going to be there next week and
Yes.
working the show.
Exactly.
So yeah, a few people were upset about that, so we just had to
see that.
mention it real quick. So the other fights that happened, I mean, we could talk about Giga and Onama, or we could talk about the amazing Randy Brown, Nicholas Dalby fight. What the heck were they smoking before they got out there?
Meth. They were smoking meth.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was that drug that the Vikings did before they went out to battle. I forget what it was
I thought
called.
that was meth.
Was it?
I
don't
thought
think meth
so.
existed in like
what PCP?
700
what was
it?
AD? Were they chewing on some coca leaves? Like
I'm
what?
gonna look it up. But yeah, talk about the fight while I look that up.
Well, I mean, it was pretty crazy. It was typical Dalby, like going balls to the wall. You can never count this guy out. But Randy Brown, his jab was so impressive. Going forward, backward, he was always pumping that jab and always putting in Dalby's face.
Hallucinogenic mushrooms.
No.
Like fly agaric. Do you know what that is? An alkaloid bearing plants like black henbane. It's
say that other word.
Black henbane. Hyoscyamus niger. Jessica. It's only one G.
I just want to hear your pronunciation.
This niger over here is trying to induce my battle rage. So yeah, lots of stipulations on what the Vikings were.
I still say it was meth.
You say it was niger.
I don't. You do.
Hyoscyamus niger. Yeah, so yeah, it could be meth mushrooms. But anyway, that's what they were on. Continue. Dalby was on the Niger.
He definitely was, because the way this man fights, he cannot feel anything. He does not want to be able to feel anything because he knows that fight is going to hurt. Mm-hmm. I love watching Dalby fight for that reason. He puts it all on the line. Yeah. And honestly, you can't cut him out, or you can't
count them out.
Thank you. The mushrooms are kicking in.
You gotta say, thank you, my Niger. My Hyoscyamus.
Not falling for it. Anywho. So it was really impressive the way Randy Brown was just utilizing the jab. I just really focused on that one. He has great striking, puts people on his heels. He was doing so well and then got caught. Yeah. Got caught, faced a little bit of adversity at the end of the first round. You know, maybe thought Dalby was coming back, but then the second round starts and then it was just more of Randy Brown pushing the action. And Dalby did Dalby. Mm-hmm. He came in a little bit wild, a lot reckless, and got countered.
Yeah. It was nasty.
It was.
It was such a ridiculous fight. Like, I'd already seen clips, but then I finally rewatched the whole fight on the plane, and I'm watching it and like
just elbowing your neighbor.
Yeah, just hitting people next to me and going, like, Jesus Christ. It's one of those fights where you can't not react to everything that's going on. And then that final blow, they're throwing hook, and then finally he kind of rolls and lands one on Dalby, and the way that he drops like a sack of potatoes, it's hard to watch because like I really like both of those guys. It was a nice guy fight, you know, like both of those guys deserved the win. Both put in the work, both show up to do battle, but Randy came out on top, and he was coming off of that Brian Battle loss that was a little controversial.
Arguably, I thought he won.
Yeah, he didn't have the same power they were saying that battle did. It looked like he did, but then, you know, when you get wobbled as opposed to just landing hard shots but not dropping the guy, then they can score for that guy. And that's what happened in this last fight. But this one, he was like, nope, I'm not leaving it to it. He really opened up. And that's something that you don't always see Randy do. He opened up. He dropped his hands. He was throwing from his pockets, moving his head, being in the pocket. And that's what got him to win. Just being able to use his big-ass arms, wrap it around his jaw.
Dude, I loved those. It's like right, and then it's a hook.
Yeah.
That's the one that crooked Dalby's nose, and that was the fight-ending punch in my book.
And how nasty. I forgot about that. How nasty was that? Was another moment where I was just like, watching them reset Dalby's nose in the corner. That was insane. Kudos to the cut man. Good job.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that fight was ridiculous. It definitely deserved fight of the night. The stab kicks too. That was something that Randy Brown used really well. His length, the size of his foot. I feel like that would feel like getting jabbed by the end of a baseball bat. Just dun, dun, dun. Stay back, Dalby. And then as soon as he gets in, boom. It was a really fun fight to watch. Guys, put that on your reels or whatever, fights to watch when you're bored or when you miss violence, when you got one of those fight nights with all decisions, just watch that one.
It's a quick watch. It's worth it. You can watch it a few times.
Yeah, watch it during the Burger King commercials.
Oh God. Just so tired of that. And I mean, they changed the voice of the singer.
Did they?
Yes. It's a girl now. No, it's a girl now.
Can she at least sing now?
Not really. It's still like a jingle. It's still obnoxious, but like it's just a little bit less obnoxious than that comedian that sings it. Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit more palatable. No, because they play it like 100 times during fight night.
I can't wait for the Netflix deal to happen. So
have we heard anything more about that?
No, we haven't. But WWE seems to be thriving on it, and there was a big WWE last weekend. So I'm feeling like they're comfortable figuring it out. Like I feel like they're not like freaking out. Like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna be the right move. I think everyone's pretty excited about it, but we haven't heard anything about it being sealed. But I don't think it's happening for a while. But I don't understand why ESPN has to have the same 3 commercials every time we watch it.
Like, you have more people buying ad space than that, don't you?
Yeah, there has to be. It's ESPN. Just throw in some pro bono commercials just for the fans.
Just put a limit.
Just for us.
Just a little bit, please. We're so tired of hearing
Sprinkle some extra stuff in there.
Please.
Well, I was lazy and I only watched the finishes because I was tired from jiu-jitsu.
Fair.
And my flight wasn't long enough to watch all of the decision fights. But the Ikram Alexskarov versus Andre Muniz, how did you like that one?
You know what? I thought it was going to be a snooze until like the last 30 seconds.
Right.
It was Muniz, he's more of a grappler, and Ikram, I mean, he's a takedown guy. So I was wondering if it would be one of those grapplers that turn into strikers. And initially it did. Ikram ended up getting, he ended up dropping him with what seemed like an ineffective punch, but it stumbled Muniz, dropped him. I think it was a left. And it dropped him, and then he got the TKO. Like we heard the clappers, and Herzog decided to call it. He had seen enough. I always kind of wonder. I'm like, there have been these times where fights are close to being finished, but it's so close to the end of the round. I wonder if the refs would just, let him go. Just take a couple more, and then get him back on the bench. I always wonder if that could be a thing or not. I mean, again, it's the fighter's safety above all.
I'm sure there's more stress in the situation when that happens.
Yeah, you're not really thinking about it.
Well, no, I think when you hear the clapper, all of a sudden the stress levels go a lot higher for that question, do I stop it or do I not? Do I stop it? Do I not? Like, I think they're very aware of that.
Yeah.
A good ref, at least. And Herzog's definitely one of those ones that are going to be aware. And they're just like, okay, that's enough, you know? And that's what it looked like there. Like, he ate a lot of unanswered punches before he jumped in there. And then the clock was still at 8. Like that was at least.
Technically, they weren't like all the way going through, but he really wasn't trying to get up.
He was eating like 3 punches a second. That would have been 8 times 3. What is that? 24. That would have been 24 unanswered punches, and he's just.
I know, but he was doing this. No, he was doing this. Okay, maybe like somewhere in between.
He was taking a nap.
He was stuck, Angela. He was trying to
out
figure.
No, as he slept.
I feel like he was a little bit more shelled than that, but that's just
he didn't seem like he was complaining.
No,
yeah, he seemed like he understood what had happened and why it happened.
Yeah, he was probably in the fog.
Yeah,
there's like this weird, like when your bell gets rung, but you're not like knocked out. There's this like it's a fog. It's like a like you're kind of on drugs or it's in
like
a dream.
Brownout.
Yes,
it's a brownout.
You're
remember
like aware,
putting your keys somewhere.
You just don't know where
or who you gave them to
or how long it's been.
Oh, what day it is.
Yeah.
Where's my panties? Well, one person who is definitely having a red panty night of his own, if he has a special lady, is Malcolm Wellmaker.
Oh, he quit his job.
He quit his
job on Monday, just like he promised.
Yeah, good for him. What job did he have?
He was a welder.
I thought you were going to say he was a well maker.
Probably his parents
his
were
ancestors.
Yes. Because back in the day, that's how somebody has the name blacksmith, because they came from a family of blacksmiths.
Yeah.
Well maker.
My ancestors lived on a hill. Yours ate pasta.
They did.
Lots of it, apparently. Yeah, so Malcolm Wellmaker really made out in this fight. His striking just looked phenomenal. And Cameron Simon, if that's how you say his name, he's no slouch. Like, I remember watching him on Contender Series because a guy we knew from San Diego was fighting him.
Who that?
What is his name? Josh Kim. He's like come through Alliance every now and then. Like, I don't know him, but like I say hi.
You say hi to everyone.
I say hi when I know his name. I say hi to people whose name I don't know. Oh. But he's come through the gym a few times. Like, I've touched him. I've rolled with him.
Did you?
Yeah, but not like Cameron did. Like, Cameron pieced him up. But it was a good fight, but like he showed that he is like one of those special fighters. And now in comes Malcolm Wellmaker, and he just showed he's more special.
Used him as a stepping stone.
It's crazy because that was literally like a year ago that this kid was streaking. I think he knocked out Josh Kim on Contender Series. He got 2 more big wins. People were, telling stories about how he went to the UFC PI the day after his win so he could work out, and they opened it for him. Like, he just seemed like such a good kid with a good story. Trains with DDP, and then he lost 2 in a row, comes in, fights Malcolm Wellmaker, and is like on to the next shiny new toy.
Now that's 3-0, and it looks like we might see his name on the cut list.
So sad.
It happened so fast.
It happened so fast. It was literally like a year ago, right?
That's
that was 2024 when he had his last win or last loss. Oh no, 2023. Time's flying. I'm old.
No, I lose years now.
Yeah.
I think something happened last week, and it was literally last year.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes when you get older. It just flies.
Why?
That's why it makes me happy and a little bit nervous for Wellmaker to be bailing on his job. I'm like,
Yeah, but
don't do it yet.
But he's a welder. That's
He
something
can always
you're
go back
always
to
gonna
it.
need. Yeah.
He went to trade school. He's got a certificate. He may need to like re-up it.
Yeah. We
renew.
might need some new heavy bag holders. What do you call them? The things where you hang the heavy bags from.
The racks.
Yeah, we might need some new heavy bag racks. Everyone will be calling him if it ever comes to that. But I think he's going to have a bright future. He's 9-0. Got a nasty knockout like that on Contender Series too. So this guy is going to be a problem. Like I'm wondering how people are going to deal with him. He just has like really good command of space too, like the in and out, and being able to roll with the punch in order to land that check hook. You saw him throw it a few times in the fight, and then he finally timed it just right. Like that's somebody that's not just scary to run in on with striking, but he's scary to shoot on too. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see how they build him, and I hope that he doesn't get the Cameron Simon
just thrown to the wolves
treatment. I didn't even know if he was thrown to the wolves. I think he just kind of had bad luck.
Well, he fought Peyton. I feel like anybody that they have Peyton fight is, being served.
Yeah, and I don't think Christian Rodriguez was like a scary choice, but he did beat Raul Rosas. So it's just like, yeah, they're just throwing these kids at each other and seeing who's gonna float to the top.
Yeah,
yeah. So that was a really nasty knockout. Like the way he fell to the side was just branded in the back of my head.
Yeah. Also the way he was coming in too. He was like his arms were a little bit low. He had a little bit low of a guard, and I think he was
coming in with like a jab, like he was, or stepping in with a straight punch, and Wellmaker just kind of
went so
with
fast.
The punch. He went with the punch, like the punch connected, but he leaned just out of the way so it didn't connect perfectly, and landed his own perfect shot on the chin. And he like opened up for it too. It was really nice. I watched it a few times, but he just like like in a split second, and had so much torque behind that thing. It's nasty.
Yeah, I had to watch it a few times. It was fast.
Yeah, it made him cartwheel. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a few nasty knockouts on this card. It was a really fun card, and the crowd was going insane, which brings me to another question we had from one of our mini fans. What city do you girls like to fight in? Is it fun to go to smaller cities like KC, or does the buzz of MY and MSG feel way different, etc.? That was from Marshalek89.
I think there's something about fighting at an historic venue like a Madison Square Garden. I think that that's a really cool experience. But I think what we were talking about is the audiences that you had mentioned earlier, the audiences that are kind of starved for blood.
Yeah.
I think those ones are really exciting. It's a little bit more intimate, and like everybody shows up and everybody's excited because they don't get to see it very often in person. And it's just a different vibe.
Yeah, and you get every walk of life. Like the thing that's really dry and drab about going to the Apex is that aside from the 4 people who came to watch you, if they come,
if they let them in.
It's a bunch of people who spend a lot of money to just be really close to a UFC fight. Like they probably don't care who you are. They probably don't really follow MMA.
They just want to say they were there.
Yeah, I was there. I was at the underground fight show that the UFC does. Oh, aren't those tickets really expensive? Yeah, bro. It's kind of like a scene as opposed to a crowd of diehards who have been watching MMA since the 90s.
Who show up at the early prelims.
Yes, like watching the prelims at Kansas City. It was packed. It was packed. Like the girls were, the first girl that walked out there was getting the same cheers that they were in the main card. Like it's really awesome to see. And I love that. Like that's my preference too, because I'm going to be on the prelims. But no, like even when I'm not, it's really cool to feel that energy in the crowd, and whether they like you or hate you, it charges you.
Yeah.
It gets you ready for battle. You feel like you're a gladiator in a fucking arena, you know?
Like taking meth or hallucinogenic
Yes!
mushroom cocktail.
Taking that Niger. That hallucinogenic Niger.
Ooh, feel it.
Yeah, I love it. So that's my drug, is feeling that crowd from a small crowd. Even if you do or go to a Madison Square Garden fight night, people are still going to show up fashionably late. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Vegas. Like, they don't want to be the first people out there looking like dweebs sitting there all night. They're trying to be there for the scene. Mm-hmm. And small towns, they're just like, I'm getting my money's worth.
Yep.
I worked 5 extra shifts so I could sit in the front row and boo Anthony Smith. Like, that I worked so hard for this moment.
He's gonna get that boo.
Getting flipped off was probably the greatest moment of his life.
He will talk about it to his grandchildren.
He will.
His children's children will tell the tale. They'll pull up the video.
Yep. They're like, hey, that's Grandpa.
Look at him.
He's so
look at him.
Cringe. Yeah, so that's why I love small towns, because people are into it and you really feel appreciated.
That's it too.
Yeah, you feel really appreciated.
Yeah, it feels good.
Well, we should talk about the chick fights, since we're talking about appreciation.
We got 2 of them with finishes.
Yeah,
Who says
what?
women don't finish?
What?
Shut your mouth. We'll talk about. Let's talk about Chelsea Chandler and Jocelyn Edwards first, because that was a big girl hit. Dude, and a big girl dropped.
She looked phenomenal.
Amazing. So do you think that she has improved that much, or was it the matchup? Because that's, I hate to say that, but it kind of, when you get somebody like Chelsea Chandler, who's, kind of on a skid. Kind of. Stop it. But her fighting style.
I want to talk about the fact that she's ranked. All right.
Because there are 10 people in the division.
But was Jocelyn Edwards, was she ranked too?
Let me pull up the rankings. I have them right here.
Okay.
Hold the phone.
We need some research on this. But yes.
Before we speak.
It could have been the matchup. Looking at her record, she's lost. Well, she beat.
So Chelsea Chandler was 14.
Yeah, Jocelyn
really?
wasn't on there.
No.
And her UFC record is better than Chelsea Chandler's.
And not even, okay, I was going to say Eileen Perez's, because Eileen just beat, who
did she beat? I forget.
She just beat, Edwards.
She
just beat Edwards.
Yes, she did. She did, and she tried to get her to twerk, and she said no.
She said no. I hope they're friends now.
They must be. They must be. Yeah, oh no, she beat a lot of people. Okay, she beat Daria Zelenskova. Where was that? Was that the one that we saw her at in L.A.?
Was it?
And then she beat Carol Rosa. That was
impressive.
That we saw in L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Carol Rosa was the big name that she beat, and that was super surprising. But going back to Jocelyn, she lost to good people. I mean, Nora Cornell, Eileen Perez, these are good people in her most recent losses, and then she has a bunch of wins too. So
it's hard though. She's one of those. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I think she's getting the Angela Hill treatment.
It's hard because you look at her record. She's 6-4, so she's in bantamweight, which is not a very deep division. So I feel like her kind of fast track up there from Invicta was because they needed bodies, and now she's in there and she's learning on a very steep learning curve. It's tough because she's fought people that are top 15, top 10, and I mean I joke saying that there's only 10 people in the division, but it's tough. So, it's tough to learn that way.
So why are other people ranked ahead of her? Chelsea Chandler is not just ranked, she's 14.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
After going, 1 and 2?
Well, on a good note, I think Jocelyn will now break the top 15.
She better. I'm going to be pissed. Where's AI when you need it? You know?
We're still waiting.
The AI come through. The humans aren't doing it. They're not doing it.
They're biased.
It could also be because of the weight misses.
That's a big one. I think she made weight this time, right?
Yeah, she made weight this time.
Good for her.
But she missed weight maybe 3 times. Tapology says she missed weight 3 times. So that's a pretty big deal. So it could be biased because of that. But Chelsea Chandler, I think, has also missed weight. So it's one of those weird things that will sort themselves out eventually. Yeah, she missed weight twice. Recent history. It'll sort itself out eventually, but it's still kind of, I feel like Jocelyn was probably going in there with a bit of a chip on her shoulder, feeling like she was the better fighter and now showing it. And maybe that's the fire that she needed to get that first round finish, because we never seen her look that good, whether she's fighting good competition or not.
Yeah, she's usually much more methodical, uses a lot of her straight kicks, a lot of body kicks, keeps range a lot, but she completely shifted her mindset, shifted gears, and came in with big looping punches and was relentless.
Mm-hmm. The combinations were like the thing that got her that finish. She didn't just throw 1 or 2. She threw like pa 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 pa,
yeah, all of them,
follow pa 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 pa,
all of them,
and they were getting through. They pinned Chelsea Chandler up against the cage, and she was able to get the finish. And it was nasty looking. I was happy for her, because I'm like, dude, that is something that she probably has been wanting to do for a long time and just hasn't been able to get there. So good for her. Yeah. Jocelyn, and one thing that I thought was funny is, the knockouts on this card had to be epic because there were 2 female finishes and neither of them got bonuses.
Damn.
That's like kind of the thing that usually happens. Like if a girl gets a finish, then they're like, it's like, we'll give it to her. We'll give it to her. But this time they're like, no, sorry.
Could have been that it was early on the card too.
Sometimes,
they're
but
like, we're spoiled, we forgot.
But yeah, no, it was a pretty epic knockout that Jocelyn got. And then the other fight that we have on here was Jacqueline Amorim versus Poliana Viana. This fight kind of went down the way people expected it to. Poliana Viana has been on a skid, and Jacqueline has been streaking. So it's kind of like, what else would happen, But you always want to give the fighter the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, I think Poliana was dealing with some issues. She had to pull out of her fight with Corey for a knee injury. And then I actually got to train with her a few weeks before her fight, and she was still pretty messed up. Like, I think she just needed to
fight.
Just needed to fight, and it sucks because, and like not taking the win away from Jacqueline, because she's an excellent grappler. I actually got to train with her too before she got into the UFC, and that girl can grapple her ass off.
Yeah, she's a champion.
She's
a legit champion in IBJJF.
Not the padded one.
Yeah, no, she beat people.
Although I watched a few videos and I was like, that wouldn't work in MMA.
But she's a bottom player in jiu-jitsu.
She has figured out her style in MMA really well. She's been working with Top Team, and she's really honed in a way to just get right to business. And that's something that a lot of grapplers struggle with. And she's been able to just like go blow through people, get them down, and then do what she loves to do. So this fight kind of went the way I think a lot of bookies planned it. A lot of matchmakers thought it was going to go. And, I'm wondering what's going to happen next with Poliana, because she's just had a lot of bad luck, with the injuries, with the losses. And, we'll see what happens. She's super popular, so I wonder if she gets
keep her around
another
for one more
chance. Yeah, one more go around.
Maybe let her fight her contract out.
Yeah. So we shall see.
I mean, injury or not, she still fights the same way. You know, she stands upright. She gets put on her back, and there's even though she, you know, I think she's still a brown belt. There's just still not a whole lot of movement or urgency to get up. She's kind of happy to play on her back.
Yeah.
And that ends up losing her fights.
Yeah. But in her defense, looking at the people that she has lost to most recently, Ricci is one. She beat Jingu Frey, but then she lost to Yasmin Lucindo, who's ranked, I think, 8 or something right now. Jillian Robinson, who's ranked like 12 for some reason. and now Jackie, who will probably be ranked after this fight. You know, she has like 4 wins and 4 finishes. So I think 4 finishes.
Creeping up on that 15.
Yeah, so she should be creeping up on the 15 pretty soon. Yeah, 4 wins and 4 finishes. So that's a pretty big deal. Like I would be surprised if she wasn't ranked by the end of this week. So she has been fighting really tough competition. Poliana has been, and sometimes it's just you just get unlucky multiple times.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Well, was there anything else you wanted to discuss before we?
No, that kind of covers it all. If you want, we can just give a little sneak peek to our predictions.
Oh, yeah, because we got to figure it out anyway. Before our next Duelbits.
Yes, stay tuned for our Duelbits picks. Going to come at you. We always deliver them to you on our episode. And then, again, we give you a little reminder just before it's time for fight night.
Mm-hmm. So, for Kansas City, Sanhagen versus... Wait. Where is it? Where'd it go? Sanhagen versus Figueiredo. Ooh. How do you see the main event going? Should we start with the main or should we do bottom?
No, we can start with the main.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna go for Sanhagen on this one.
I got Sanhagen too.
Yeah, I mean normally I would pick Figueiredo, but he just tends to fade just a little bit too much in 5 rounders.
Friggin' Figueiredo.
I know.
Friggin' Figueiredo.
And I really like him.
I got Corey because I feel like his back is against the wall and he knows that he needs this win to get back in the title contention. Like, I feel like he's going to show a little more desperation, a little more, like, risk-taking, like, really get after it instead of being super, super technical. Yeah. And I think, like you said, if he wears Davison down, then he could really score on him in the later rounds. Yeah. So, yeah, I got him too. What about Rainer de Ritter versus Bo Nickel?
Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't want to bet against Rainer de Ritter anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because anytime I bet against him, he ends up just making it his fight. He ends up just using his length, his awkward rhythm, and he just pulls these wins out. So I don't know. I think what I saw from Bo Nickel in his last outing, I think that Ritter's going to get it.
Dude, I had to remind myself who he was. I'm like, okay, maybe when Jess starts talking, I'll remember who Rainer de Ritter was. This guy, yeah, you're right. Like, he looks so awkward when he fights, but he keeps getting those wins. Like, he keeps just, like, pulling shit out of his ass and, like, hitting people with stuff. And, yeah, like, he got the submission over Gerald Mearshart, over Kevin Holland. I think wherever the fight goes, he's going to be more skilled. Or not more skilled, but just have more experience in an MMA fight than Bo Nickel.
Yeah, so Bo Nickel's last fight against Paul Craig, I was underwhelmed.
Yeah, and he played it safe.
He did.
He was angry at people for getting mad at him for playing it safe.
Well, and it just showed how green he is, and he keeps getting put as like co-main. He keeps getting put at these like at the top of the main card. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yes, he's had some knockouts, but I think you just need to pull it back just a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's sink or swim. So they're going to see if they can just create a diamond out of pressure, or is he gonna just get destroyed horribly in front of millions of people? And
they don't care.
Yeah,
they love it.
That's the thing. They don't care. It's like the
care.
Britney Spears thing. Like they want to build the idol up just so they could break it down.
Yes, and use him for highlights for the rest of his life.
Watch him shave his head. He's crazy. Watch him dance. Look how insane he is after getting knocked out by the Ritter.
And then laugh.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Rainer too. But I always bet against Bo Nickel and I'm always wrong too. So but
no,
I'm gonna get
hard.
It's like two people who you probably didn't think were gonna win a fight. And they kept winning and making you feel stupid.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go with Rainer the Ritter too.
Ponzinibbio and Rodriguez. I'm going Ponzinibbio. I just am.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I'm gonna go D-Rod.
Right.
He's
been looking good. He's been looking good,
Yeah.
and Ponzinibbio looked a little labored his last fight, but I'm still going with him.
Yeah,
just because
he
I think
pulled that shit out of his
Yeah.
ass. I know I'm getting tired because I can't stop cussing, but it was a tough fight, man. And Ponzinibbio, he found a way, so that could be the X factor in this one. But I'm gonna go D-Rod.
All right, let's do one more. We have Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. I'm going for Marcos on this one.
Oh yeah,
yes. They keep giving him challenges, and he keeps rising to the occasion. He's 17-0. He just has beautiful strike. This is Charles Rose's boy.
Yes.
He just has amazing striking, and I don't know a ton about Montel Jackson, so this might come and bite me in the ass. But just what I've seen of Marcos, he just is freaking good.
Anytime I hear the name Montel, I think of that TV show.
He beat your boy Devon Blackshear.
He did.
He beat Ronnie Yahya, Julio Arce. He's beat some good guys, so this really should be a good fight. And this is one where they're not giving Daniel Marcos like any kind of easy fights. They're not trying to build this guy. They're battle testing him.
Yeah, but he is under the radar, so maybe they don't know.
Yeah.
Just... maybe they don't realize what they're doing.
Come on, guys.
Setting their boy up for failure.
No, this kid's talented. The way he throws his knees, just like he's a surgeon with his freaking knees. They're beautiful.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember any of his fights, but I know I've seen him fight before.
Yeah.
But I'm going to... he fought Brian Kelleher, subbed him. I'm not going to pick for that one. But what I am going to pick for is Jeremy Stevens versus Mason Jones.
Who you going with?
Oh, you know who I got.
I'm kidding.
You know who I got.
It was a joke.
We got our boy, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens, hardest hitting 145er on the planet. He's fighting Mason Jones. Is it at 145? Oh, no, it's at lightweight.
55.
Yeah, we'll see how hard he hits then.
Ooh, even harder.
Man. Oh, that's going to suck. Yeah, so that's going to be a fun fight. Mason Jones is also like streaking off of his Cage Warriors return. He was in the UFC, won a few, lost a few, and got cut. Now he's back after a 4-fight win streak. So it's not going to be an easy fight for Jeremy. It's definitely going to be, some dangers there with this opponent, but Jeremy's seen it all. He's been in there with the hardest hitting ones and has come out on top. So I'm excited for him. I think he's going to get a really epic, victorious win in his hometown.
And he's fueled by his hometown.
I know. And I can't wait to watch it live.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
You should come.
No.
Like, no, I'm joking. I lied. I am exhausted. And I can't wait to stop traveling and just sit down and not do anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
So hard.
Soon.
So hard being so cool.
So hard
popular.
Being cool and old at the same time.
It is. That's a challenge.
I always feel like that. What's the guy's name that really Steve Buscemi that Steve Buscemi gif.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hello, fellow kids. Like, I always feel like that when I'm traveling and hanging out in a room full of fighters.
You should make it a shirt.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, guys. Well, this has been another. Oh, our girl Juliana Miller is fighting too. She's fighting Ivana Petrovic. So yeah.
Hey.
Return fight for
That's why she was looking
Miller.
so lean in her last post. I was like, this bitch.
She's a string bean.
Goodness.
Yeah. So this has been. Oh, did you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. Yeah. This has been
Talk
another
about it after.
We'll
I'm
talk
tired
about it
too,
after.
girl. I'm tired.
It's late.
It's late.
Yeah.